Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the classroom for today's edition of NDD. And as Marcus Freeman continues to meet with various media outlets ahead of Notre Dame's Irish invasion on Friday, that's a big day for the football team on campus. A lot of recruits, mostly for the 27 and 28 classes, will be on campus for various football-related activities. I'll have more on that and the developments related to that as the week goes on, but that'll be Friday, June 6th in South Bend. But Marcus Freeman, in speaking with ESPN this week, stressed the importance of having depth. Now, you've heard me on this platform say, still, in the age of NIL and the portal, the most consistent, foolproof, beneficial way to build a roster and build depth is by recruiting. And the Irish have done masterclass work in that regard, specifically related to the 2026 class. Now, with Always College Football, one of the newest shows on ESPN, Coach Freeman sat down and was talking about just that, the importance of depth, as Notre Dame now has seen what it is like firsthand to go through a season that is longer than 12, 13 games. The Irish, of course, 14-2 last year en route to a near national title victory over Ohio State, playing 16 games. Freeman saying, quote, "I think as we look back at last year, it was probably the healthiest in terms of practice injuries that we've had since I've been the head coach. But we also practiced probably 14 to 15% more than we ever had." And that is significant because when you play more games, you're going to need more practice time, greater chance for injuries, preventable or non-preventable, to happen. He continued, "I think that's a reminder of the depth you need. You can't ooze into this season with the schedule we have," end quote. And those are big words there from Marcus Freeman because he knows. And we've seen many people around the country, prognosticators. We talked about the betting aspect yesterday with the DraftKings bettable games early on coming out saying that Notre Dame is a favorite in at least 6 of them right now, at least 6 of the games that you can bet on to this point in the offseason. But yes, depth is essential in all levels of sport, but especially high-level Division I football. And with Notre Dame, August 31st, season starts down south against Miami. Then you come back 7 days later for the home opener against Texas A&M. You've got physicality, you've got team speed on both sides of the ball with both opponents. You're going to need health, you're going to need stability, and as such, Marcus Freeman is prioritizing all of those things by relying on his sports performance staff. Now, what do you do there? You want to evaluate the best ways to practice. How can we train off the field and make sure, and this is essential, folks, that there is a plan in place to prevent as many preventable injuries as possible. Even in the age of the transfer portal, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be able to recruit because the depth in your roster is going to come from recruiting. Notre Dame did a great job with that last year, but late in the season, you saw the program go through different injuries at essential spots. The injury to Benjamin Morrison stands out, but you're able to slot someone in like Leonard Moore. Where does that come from? Recruiting. And the Irish were able to go on that sustained run because they had the depth that was largely built via recruiting. You cannot put a price on it. It is of utmost importance, and it was great to hear Coach Freeman, not in those exact words, but basically dance around that idea that, yes, the portal is not going anywhere. NIL is a big player. If we continue to recruit like this, injuries are going to happen, but we'll be all the more prepared to sustain those injuries, which, again, you cannot put a price on. Recruiting is the buzz. Again, you heard me mention moments ago, Irish invasion taking place on Friday. But Notre Dame wants to bolster not just the wide receiver room, but the tight end room. And I'll talk about the TEs momentarily. But earlier in the week, and even going back to late last week, for the 2026 class, we know that Notre Dame, from a wide receiver standpoint, has commitments from Dylan Faison and Bubba Frazier. That's great. But Cohen Brown has received plenty of note and notoriety as one of the top playmakers in the class, but the Irish have also been kicking the tires on Texas's Caden Finley. And this is a young man who remains very much in the conversation. 6 foot, 200 pounds, loved the framework. He's the son of Jermichael Finley, who had a great collegiate career at Texas before putting together 6 strong seasons as a tight end and pass catcher with the Green Bay Packers in the NFL. If Notre Dame is able to land the likes of Finley, you talk about huge recruiting wins, and they've had a bevy of them in the 26 class. This would be another one, folks. And you would be able to pair him with some of the other guys in the class and then some of the ones already on the roster, even beyond an incoming Faison and a Frazier. That would be a huge deal for Notre Dame. He's going to visit South Bend on June 13th, which is a huge weekend in a little under 2 weeks for Notre Dame. Texas heavily in the mix, as is Texas A&M, but it looks like at this point, at least from where I'm sitting and from what I hear and talking to people, Notre Dame might be the leader in the clubhouse, at least for right now. Obviously, I will keep you abreast of any developing situations in this regard and others as the off season continues and the 26 and 27 classes continue to be built. Yesterday, I talked about Notre Dame's interest in 2027 signal caller Teddy Gerard for obvious reasons. Among the coveted passers in the class, and Gerard certainly is, there are others that Notre Dame is very much vested in and interested in. They have numerous quarterbacks they've been able to look at in recent time, and while no offers have been officially given, the Irish are not done in this regard. Gerard, as discussed, remains a major name, but you have Louisiana's Malachi Ziegler, Illinois native Israel Abrams. I love this kid. I've seen the tape. I've watched the film. And then Jamison Purcell, who oddly enough is also from Illinois. Those three are also very much top of mind. Now, Abrams, 6'4", 180 pounds. He's a four-star from Montini Catholic in Arlington Heights, Illinois. Kid's got an amazing frame, big arm, but he can move the chains with his legs as well. That's north, south, east, west, laterally as well. He's a complete athlete, student of the game. Competition for his services, I mean, they're going to be there, right? When you're a four-star this late, Ole Miss, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Tennessee, those offering him in the 27 QB class. You have Purcell and Ziegler are also very coveted. Ziegler having been visited by Notre Dame coaches in recent time. That's a huge deal. And Purcell is actually expected to be in attendance at the June 6th Irish invasion. So they continue, Coach Gino, Coach Denbrock, to kick the tires on these 27 QBs. And just to throw another one in for the 27 class, you have Peter Bork out of Massachusetts, another one with incredible arm talent, and that is an area of his game from Bork's perspective that has really captured the attention of Irish coaches. So again, people may overreact when they say, well, 2027 class, you have some time, but why hasn't an offer been made? Due diligence is being done right now, ladies and gentlemen. I can promise you that. The class looks good. It's deep. There's depth there. And much like the Irish continue to do with the wide receiver help in 26 and then the tight end group, which I'll get to momentarily, they're doing the same thing for the 27 class, just ironing out the guys they really want to make those runs at. If it's me, I'm high on Abrams, and I am a big Purcell fan as well. So we'll see how this continues to transpire. As we have time for that, yes, but this is what makes it fun. And just wrapping up, I did want to mention something about the tight ends. You'll have unofficial visits this week for Preston Frizzell and Braden Fogel. They're going to be on campus. They're unofficial visits as part of the 2026 class. Ironically enough, we had mentioned them in the last couple of days, so they are in South Bend. They'll be there midweek. You've heard me say before, and I firmly believe it, that Marcus Freeman wants at least 2 tight ends in the class. To this point, Notre Dame has offered 13. Evan Jacobson, who I've talked about, the kid from Iowa, and then California's Luke Sorensen are included in that offer group of 13. Again, 2, possibly 3, but I think 2 is the goal in this class. And again, it can't be understated. I'll be talking about it throughout the week. Irish invasion taking place at the end of the week. But even beyond that, and that's on Friday, going into June 13th, 14th, and the 15th, that weekend that comes up in 2 weeks' time, you're going to have a bevy of recruits on campus for that weekend as well. So this is a humongous 2-week stretch for Irish football. And when you think about it, the job they've already done with this class has been, bar none, the best we've probably seen in a very long time. But it just shows the shift in productivity for the way Marcus Freeman approaches recruiting and how he works in lockstep with his coaching staff and the recruiters that he has within that locker room. It's been spectacular to watch. It's really like nothing I've seen in my 39 years of being a Notre Dame fan, and I'm excited to see how this goes. With that, I'll leave you here. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Obviously, you can tell there's a lot of news that's going to continue to come out as far as recruiting and development is concerned. So I will have you all updated as I get updated each and every day right here on Notre Dame Daily, a product of FanDuel. Enjoy the rest of the day. And as always, go Irish.